quick overview of the new stand-up screen that's coming out as part of the new release of Agent 4, which should roll out here really soon. We're going to start promoting that here in the next couple of weeks to customers. So one of the things that's really awesome about the new stand-up screen is we're pulling a bunch of Agile information from the source system that we didn't have in Agent V3 because of some of the limitations of the integration. But now we have full support for example, in Jira, we have full support for all your Agile boards, so we can understand all the boards and what's on the board and what boards are associated with sprints, or if it's Kanban, what's the Kanban board look like. So with that rich information, we can do some really interesting things. So let me give you a quick overview. This case, this is a team. You can have your team selector over here like normal, but now we show this new Kanban board. If I hover over it, it'll actually tell me what type of board it is. So this is a Jira board. We also support GitHub issues now, as well as GitLab issues. So this is a GitHub Kanban board. And so this team has kind of two boards. They work on a new open source library. So they're using the GitHub issues for this new library that's open source, and they're tracking their issues that way. But of course, internally, they also use, they have their own Jira Kanban board. So if I look at the issues on the board, I can see now that the issues on the board align to the columns on Kanban. So we used to have done and sort of in progress, and sort of now it kind of more closely aligns to your agile process and how you set your board up. So in this case, selected for development, in progress, in review, etc. If I click on this little icon over here, I can jump straight to the board and we can kind of compare. So you can sort of see selected for development, in progress, etc. So that aligns exactly what we have on our board. It's also dynamic now. So as you move things around on your board, it'll immediately reflect inside of Pinpoint. You also notice that it's probably not obvious, but it's also rank ordered. So whatever order you have it on your board is the exact order will always show it as well inside of here. Another kind of nice thing that we did as part of this is if you hover over any kind of container issue, you can see that this is a story. And if I hover over that, I can just immediately unfurl that in line. I don't need to jump over to the issue to then see what subtask or et cetera, or on that container issue. I can just do it right in line, which is super convenient. The other thing we've done on the pull request side is we've made it a lot more, hopefully, useful. We've now separated the pull requests between planned and unplanned. So the concept of planned is these are pull requests that are tied to issues on your boards, and unplanned are pull requests that are happening sort of outside of your board, or we couldn't figure out which issues it's associated with. The other tab that we now have is backlog. So we actually show the board's backlog, which is super convenient. So you can sort of see all the issues in rank order on your board. We also took the needs attention and we've kind of reworked that a little bit. We now have sort of needs attention kind of on your first tab, and we give you sort of all the different issues that we found on your board that we think need some sort of attention. So like this is a good example. This is a blocked issue, so we'll give you a little bit of information about what it's blocked by. And of course you can continue to take action just by acknowledging that issue, and then it will remove it from your issue needs attention issue. The other thing, you can of course select and filter. So I can clear a filter here automatically, etc. And then I can change teams. So let's go change teams here. Before we do that, why don't we test editing an issue? So let's take this issue here. Let's just open that issue up. Entity titles are not expanded consistently. Of course, you can edit directly within Pinpoint, and we'll continue to improve that. But let's just jump over directly to Jira, and let's just see how that works. So I'll just real quick, I'm going to edit this title in line here. So let's just do a test here. Click save, and if I jump back over to Pinpoint, you can notice that you don't have to refresh. Pinpoint automatically behind the scenes refreshed everything, and it's all live. You can stay within the app. It's extremely fast now. You just do it directly, and then immediately, it took a little bit longer than normal, but immediately that will get reflected inside of Pinpoint. So that's really pretty awesome as well. Don't mind these these couldn't find issues. These are just for testing. There's a bug that we have right now, and so we're showing sort of the issues that we couldn't find in our system. We have a little bit of a bug that we're working through right now, but that should be wrapped up here really soon. Let's look at maybe another team. So if we go to gold miners, we can see this is a slightly different view. If I show, they actually have 2 boards. So now we get, because we have 2 boards mapped to this team, you can see they will have now a drop down that will automatically show up. So I'll choose that team. So let me choose that team's board. And now I can see they actually have multiple sprints associated with this board. So this is a sprint board, Scrum board. So you can sort of see here in this case, this is a 2 current sprints tied to this board. And then I've got my more familiar summary here. We have now a little bit of an indication of what's going on here. You can sort of see where we're at. The team looks like we're progressing pretty well. Sort of here's where we're at, and kind of we're a little bit ahead. We can also see this team has a lot of issues that need attention here. A lot of different issues. If I hover over it, I can sort of see what's going on. We had a bunch of issues that came in, it looks like, after the sprint was planned that they're working on. If I jump over here, you can see this is sort of Scrum, so it's going to be a little bit different. I also have this new filter concept. So if I come over here, I can also filter. So like, let's say I'm looking for anything that's related to SDK, so I can immediately filter right within the board. I don't have to jump out or try to do the browser filter. So I can do that directly here. And of course, I can apply another filter to see if I have. So no issues on the board. Well, actually, there is one issue, but it's in the done state down here. So you can sort of see one issue on the board that's SDK that matches me. We're doing a basic text search here, so pretty super simplistic, but very useful. If let's go switch over and show how you can map these boards. So now we have a screen in settings. We will automatically use machine learning by looking at the team for the board and all the issues on the board and try to determine which team it should be auto-assigned to. But of course, we're not always going to get that right, or maybe these boards are old. So you can come in here and see which teams are assigned which boards and what type of boards they are. And of course, you can unassign them if you just don't want them to show up anymore, or they're old and not used anymore, etc. So you can just easily change that. So anyway, that's our feedback. Hope you like it. Look forward to getting your feedback. And if you have anything that you'd like to see in the stand-up, let us know. We'd love to take your feedback and try to implement it. Cheers.